this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. I said in one of my recent videos that I wouldn't make anything Christmas related until October. Well, it's the 28th of September today, and I thought I'd better start on something because I have loads of ideas for Christmas related cards and items. And yeah, once this is posted, I think it will be 1st of October anyway. So what I'm doing today is I have got these chocolates, and I saw something a few weeks ago on YouTube. I think both Sam Calcutt and a few other people made these things. There are gift tags that can hold these, but they were promoting dies from Craft Stash. And I thought, no, I'm not going to buy this die or these dies. They've got different ones: reindeer, angels, Santas. I can make the reindeer just with the stuff I have in my stash. So I'm going to show you what I have already prepared. And this is the first thing. I was looking for something that works like antlers, and I had a branch die, but this is a bit too delicate, I thought. So I found this foliage die, this one here, and I cut it out from glitter cardstock because I thought this would be sturdier. I've doubled it up even because I think otherwise it'll be a bit too delicate. And this is double-sided glitter, so I used my collal glue, and I think this will work nice as antlers. So have a look in your stash what you have. You could even just use strips of cardstock and then just piece the bits together, just round the edges off a little bit when you cut them. I think this would work fine. For the ears, because I don't have any small oval dies, I found these feet here. I think I've shown you that in an Easter card before, because this cuts feet for a bunny. So I just cut two of the feet and the brown cardstock in the back, and then the inner bits there in the pink. So I think that'll be just fine for that. I've also cut two brown pieces with my hole punch and two black pieces for the eyes. This is for the bit of the top that holds the twine. And for the main part, you need two dies, one oval die and one round die. I'll just quickly give you the measurement of mine, but obviously you can use whatever size you have as long as these two fit together. This oval die is just 2 3/4 wide, and yeah, just 4 inches in height, and this one is 3 1/4. I'll just show you how these get pieced together. So basically you have this sitting like here to shape the head of the reindeer, and so this gives you an idea what size you have. But obviously you could have that wider. You could even just use two oval dies if you had this one like this and this one going up as well. The reindeer will have a different shape then, but it doesn't really matter. I don't really have any brown cardstock at the moment, so I'm using this pearly brown cardstock that is white on the back. And yeah, this is also why I have to be careful, because pearly white stock always gets a bit of a, if you put it through the die cutting machine and you have got any cracks or anything in the cutting plates, this will show on this one. So be a bit aware of that if you use that. So I just want to show you how to cut these pieces. So I've already cut them to size. I like to cut them to size because if I have a bigger piece and I've got any blemishes on my die cutting boards, then that will show on the paper, and then I have to throw the rest in the bin. So I like to basically cut this out, and then the rest will go in the bin anyway. So you also need a little circle die. I've got a stitch die, but this doesn't matter. This one, you want this to, if you test it like this, you want this big enough to show enough of the chocolate ball here, but obviously not too much so this doesn't fall through. And I'm cutting these at the same time. You could cut the circle first if you wanted to, and then put it through afterwards. And I'm putting this fairly close to the edge, and it doesn't really matter where it is, it's more important for the oval. So I'm just sticking this together like this, and I'm putting this through my die cutting machine. And when you do the oval, I'll show you that as well at the same time. Again, you want this to be close to the edge, but here you have to be careful that you have it in the middle. So my suggestion is, but I haven't tried this yet, because you want these to be more or less even on both sides of the gift tag, I will put these through at the same time, but I'm turning the background around. It's not so much important, I think, for the circle die, but definitely for the oval die, because if you don't have it right in the middle, at least the back will match. So I shall quickly cut these off camera, and then I'll show you how to assemble the gift tag. One little tip before I do that, actually, I will put some paper or sandwich this between some papers. I'm just folding this over because I know my bottom cutting plate is really damaged. It's got loads of cuts in it. I don't want anything to show at the bottom piece. So that's the best way to do it. Just sandwich it, and after that dispose of this piece of paper, take a new one for the oval die. So another little tip, my big die has cut through nicely through both layers, but this one hasn't. So you can always sort of lock it in again, find where it goes, and then you can put it through the die cutting machine again. This time I think I will turn it this way round and just cover the top, and that way I'm sure I will cut through both layers. So I've die cut all my pieces, and I have also cut a little strip here. This is 2 inches by 1.5, and I have scored this at 1/2 and at 1. So I've got this little panel, and I've burnished it as well, because this will be the little mechanism that holds the 2 pieces together at the bottom here. So I think what we can do is just glue this on first, and then we can glue the top bit on. So I'm just using my Cosmic Shimmer glue. Just realised I didn't have the cap on. I hope it works okay. Yeah, it's coming out nicely. You can also use your Color glue. So I'm just setting this sort of, well, it doesn't really matter. You can set it a bit lower, but I think the further up it is, no, I'll tell you what, I'll put it in the middle here. I haven't tried this before. My original thought was to put a score line here at the bottom, because this is what the original one from Craft Sesh looks like, and then obviously because it's a die, you then fold that over and glue it on the other side. But I thought this way I'm keeping the full shape at the bottom. So I'm just pressing this down. So now I need to fold this up so it sits like a U to glue the other piece on. And you want to eyeball this a bit, so keep an eye that this is actually straight, and then this one goes on, and you keep an eye on that the circles match up more or less. And this is the advantage of the quick grab glue. Once you set it down, it won't move, but it can also be a disadvantage if you want it to move. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but I think this is about right. So I'm leaving that to sit there for a moment. I'm not pressing. I could press it down and move it, but I'm worried about it disaligning. So I'd rather do it this way, leave it to sit for a moment, and then turn it over and go underneath it. Just think whether there's anything I can do. You see what I mean? So now that I know it's grabbed, I can pick it up. Hope I haven't moved it. No, it's fine. And then it looks a bit funny. And now I can press it down. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. So now this is easy to align because the circle goes right behind this, but make sure it's not like this. You want this straight on behind this circle. So all I need to do is put some glue behind here. I'm not bothering about too much at the top because I don't want this to ooze out. And with a good glue, this should hold nicely. You don't need anything at the top. Sorry about my cardstock reflecting a little bit. Problem is the daylight is really, well, there's not much daylight today. It's a very dull day, but I don't want to put my light on because that will cast shadows as well. Yeah. Contemplating whether I should have put it a little bit there. I might do that on the other side. So. Just put a spot there and just use my finger to spread it out a little bit so I know it won't ooze. And again, I'm trying to align this a little bit with a piece on the back so I know this will sort of match. Also, I don't know if you can see that. I can see that these are the two back pieces because of the way it's left a bit of a rim there. So make sure you match them up. Keep the two pieces on the back that are the back pieces that were the other side way around when you cut them. If you don't want this, obviously you can cut them individually. I just like to take shortcuts every now and then. So this will definitely be my front. I've got a bit of a glue residue there. I've got a glue eraser here, but you have to be a bit careful on the pearlescent cardstock, but this comes off nicely. So now I can put my pieces on. So I think I'll start with the endless. These I have to put on with my collal glue because of the glitter cardstock. I'm not sure whether the cosmic shimmer would hold it. So I'm just putting a little bit at the bottom here. Because I want these to sit on the front. I don't want these to be on the back. So I'm just placing this here. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Same on the other side. And I like everything symmetrical, but with the way these are cut or with the way these are shaped, they actually face the same way, but it doesn't really matter. Just looking at this, I'm just peeling this off again. I did round them off a little bit at the bottom to make it look a bit nicer, so I think I just cut that corner off again. Bit wonky, but it doesn't matter. So then the ears, they just go behind here, and the eyes I will just pop on like this. I think I'll quickly do that off camera. You don't need to watch me do that. And then I'll show you how to create the little bit on the top with a hole. So for the top piece, I have cut two little circles here just with my punch here, but obviously if you have got little circle dies, you can just do it with that. And I'm just marking on the back of these where the center is, just like that. And I'm just using my ordinary hole punch to cut the middle bit out. Again, if you've got like one of those fancy crocodile punches, that isn't no problem for you. But I'm just lining this middle circle up like this, and then I can punch these through. And I find this very easy to do this way. I've taken the bottom of my hole punch off so I can see where I'm cutting. This has got stuck now. So never mind, let me sort that off camera. And then all you need to do is glue this behind here. Pick which side you want. I think I'll have, because mine's not quite in the middle, I'll have the bigger one, and you just adhere it like this. And then I also want to show you how you can use your circle die to create a little mouth for the reindeer. So I'm just cutting this out here, and now I'm going to align this in here. It's a bit tricky. Oh, sorry, I'm going off camera there. Just moving this through with my tweezers. Oh, a bit sticky today. So, and what I need to do is to basically not have this right in the middle, but move it about a little bit to just cut off a slither on the side. And then we should be left, again, this is stuck in here, with a little piece left. Now, where have we gone? I'll find it. So I found my little piece here, so that's what's left over, but this now creates a little mouth that we can just glue on here. And obviously, again, you can cut this by hand. You can use your circle dies. You can have a bigger mouth if you want to, but I think this is quite nice. The one that Sam Calcott did, it had the mouth here, which I think is actually quite nice and quite cute. Looks a bit cheeky. So I shall quickly do that. And the other thing I'm going to do off camera is just use my Posca pen to just put a little line in either eye, because that creates a bit of character as well. And then we're ready to put in the chocolates almost. All the pieces have dried now, and the Posca pen has dried as well. I think this is really cute. So now I can insert the chocolate, and all I need to do now is to put some twine on the top here. I'm just using this traditional red and white twine, and I need to close it at the top. So I'm just feeding this through here. Just probably tricky now. No, it's not too bad. So depending on the twine you're going to use, have a think how big you need this hole to be. See, it's playing up now. Pardon me. I like to leave these things in, so you know it's not always as easy as people show you on YouTube. Sorry, I just had a cough attack that I just cut out there. So just realigning the chocolate, putting this, you could actually turn it this way around. It'll actually be nicer for the reindeer there, so you can see what's inside. If you wanted to, you could use a bit of sellotape and tape it down, but the idea is basically to wedge this in. I would then tie a little knot there, and then this holds it in place. I don't know how well I can show this, so I think this is really, really cute. So, but I also wanted to show you another little version, quick version. I have just cut 2 hearts from a mirror cardstock, red mirror cardstock. I was thinking about maybe even embossing it. I could do that, but for the sake of this video now, I could keep it short. I've got the same sort of hinge, and all I need to glue is to glue this on the side. I've already cut holes there on the side, and I tell you what, I quickly do the embossing off camera, and then I insert this the same way, and then I just show you the finished heart. So I've embossed the pieces and I've glued them together, and I just wanted to show you with this one, it was really easy to actually put on the hinge, because I just put it on the edge, because we've got a straight edge here which we haven't got here. So I just glued them down like this with my collard glue, by the way, because it's mirror cardstock. And now again, all I need to do is just pop this in, maybe sideways, so the wrapper doesn't stick out too much. And again, I just need to pop this through, tie it at the top, just put a knot in so that stays put, and the recipient can still bend this a little bit and take it out, and then put another knot at the top, as the same I did with a reindeer. And then just cut this off, and there we go. That was even so much quicker to make. And again, you can hang that up. If you wanted to, you could move this circle a bit lower and then have the punch at the top, but I think this is just quite as nice, and this would work for birthdays, obviously, weddings. So yeah, I think these both are really, really cute. If you think so too, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, yes, there is more Christmas content to come as of now as well. You might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.